Welcome back to another coffee break. We are just about to run out of Fridays, and so we're winding down to the end of the year. And we are about halfway through, not quite halfway through testing, which is always a milestone. Lots of things happening right now, and I really do appreciate all of the hard work that all of you do every single day. Recently, I was reading a study from Harvard. It was a study that took place over the course of about 80 years, where they looked at the lives of a few thousand people, at what made them live longer and live happier. They thought that, originally they thought that living longer would be tied to genetics or to diet or to exercise, and I'm sure that played some part in some of the results. But as people got older and they were continuing to go through the process of talking with them and surveying them and things and looking at what had transpired, what they found was that the one largest factor for people to live the longest and to be the happiest is to have a sense of community with a core group of people. Now, that could be the fact that somebody has been married for 35 or 45 years, and even the couples who bickered back and forth and fought every once in a while, as long as they knew that they loved each other and that if they needed something, they were there for each other. In another study that I read, they were talking about asking people, if you were in dire straits, do you have somebody that you could call to help you? And it was interesting the number of married people who said no. That just floored me. But in this study, it came down to community, a sense of community, a sense of trust with other people. Now this hit me in a couple of ways. Number one is that if we're going to survive, and I say this as somebody about to retire, but if we're going to survive in education, if we're going to be in it for the long haul, and if we're going to be in it in a way that it doesn't make us bitter, but instead we can still be educators and be happy, the biggest contributing factor to that is going to be the fact that we have developed a core group of people around which we can be centered in our lives. Now, for some of us, that's people outside of the school building. That's okay. But for a large part, we need to be here for each other. As an SLC or a new academy, being able to talk to one another and trust one another and build community with one another is vitally important. So when Brandon sends out an invitation to meet after school somewhere, and I know that I don't show up because I have such a long drive home, but I do come every once in a while. Those kinds of things, or the school doing it school-wide, when ARO sends out an invitation for a school social, those kinds of things help us build that community. But it goes a step farther than that, because your students need to see that sense of community as well. They need to have a core group of people here at school that they can trust and know that somebody has their back. And for some of them, their teacher may be the only one. They don't have it at home. They don't have it with friends. They only have you. And they are looking for you. They're looking for you to meet them at the door and greet them with a smile and tell them hello, ask them how they're doing, and be genuine. You know, somebody once joked that the key to sales is sincerity. And once you can fake that, you got it made. Well, as teachers, the key to success with kids is sincerity as well. But you better not be faking it, because they can see through you. So the sense of community with one another as teachers to help us get through the hard times of education, and trust me, there are hard times in education, and the sense of community with our students that help them to thrive and become really, really good adults. Those things are important, and don't ever lose sight of that. We'll see you next time.